Greetings and shalom, everyone. Grab your coffee or whatever beverage you prefer, and let's take a little ride together. Not a study ride this time, but definitely one of those "you're not gonna believe this" stories from history. Today we're talking about something that sounds like a plot straight out of an end times documentary, a History Channel fever dream, or one of those conspiracy forums you definitely shouldn't visit after midnight. The time Saddam Hussein decided to rebuild ancient Babylon. Yep, that Babylon. Hanging Gardens Babylon. Tower of Babel Babylon. Lion of Judah Exile Babylon. Babylon. The city of Nebuchadnezzar II, where he walked around flexing his empire like a Bronze Age bodybuilder. And Saddam looked at all that ancient glory and went, "Yeah, I'll take one of those, but with my name on the bricks." And that's not a joke. It's literally what happened. So today we're going to explore all of it. The history, the hype, the conspiracy theories, and finally, the facts. Let's hit the road. Before we talk about Saddam, we need to rewind about 2,600 years. Babylon was basically the New York City of the ancient world, a massive cultural, architectural, and religious hub. At its peak under King Nebuchadnezzar II, around 600 BC, Babylon was the place everybody had heard of, even if they hadn't visited. Massive walls, temples, ziggurats, the Ishtar Gate, the kind of building projects that made other ancient kings go, "Man, we gotta step up our game." And here's the thing. Babylon fell. It stayed fallen. Empires came and went. Persians, Greeks, Romans, Islamic dynasties, but nobody ever restored it to its form or glory. So for centuries, Babylon just sat there, dusty, crumbling, and iconic only in legends, scripture, and history books. Then the 20th century rolls around. Modern Iraq is formed. Archaeologists do some digging. And Germany reconstructs the famous Ishtar Gate in a museum. But the ruins themselves? Still ruins. Enter Saddam. So it's the 1970s. Iraq is rising on the oil boom. Saddam Hussein is rising in political power, and he's got a very specific way he wants people to see him. As the modern Nebuchadnezzar, the new great king of Iraq, the man who will return Babylon to glory. This was not subtle at all. He straight up said it publicly. He told artists to paint him as Nebuchadnezzar. He put up posters showing his face fading into an ancient king's face. He gave speeches about reviving Iraqi heritage. Not the Islamic era, not Arab nationalism, but ancient Babylonian nationalism. Why? Because he wanted a brand. A king needs a kingdom. And what better kingdom than the most famous one ever built in Iraq? So in 1979, Saddam announced, "We will rebuild Babylon." And he meant it. Now here's what this rebuilding actually looked like. He rebuilt parts of the walls and palaces using brand new bricks. Not restored, not preserved, not carefully matched to the ancient structure. Instead, Saddam ordered millions of new bricks. Modern bricks. factory made to be stacked on top of the original ruins. Basically, like laying a brand new house on top of grandma's antique furniture. And on each brick was stamped, "In the era of Saddam Hussein, protector of Iraq, the rebuilder of Babylon." Very normal behavior for someone definitely not trying to claim ancient kingship. He built an enormous modern palace. Imagine a massive desert mansion overlooking the ruins, designed to mimic a ziggurat. Archaeologists called it Disneyland for dictators, a tragedy for archaeology, and an atrocity on the ancient landscape. It would be like if someone built a modern McMansion on top of the Roman Colosseum because they wanted to feel the Roman spirit. He damaged the real ruins. This part isn't funny. It's sad. The concrete he used introduced moisture into the ancient foundations. Salt damage increased, walls buckled. One archaeologist described Saddam's reconstruction as archaeological vandalism on a national scale. And they weren't wrong. Now this is where things get fun. The late night YouTube rabbit hole stuff. Because the moment Saddam started rebuilding Babylon, the conspiracy theories exploded. I'll break them into categories. Theory 1. Saddam was trying to resurrect the Antichrist kingdom. This one popped up especially among prophecy-focused teachers in the 80s and 90s. The logic went something like, Babylon is heavily mentioned in Revelation. Saddam is rebuilding Babylon. Therefore, Saddam is fulfilling end times prophecies. Some even claim Saddam wanted to be the Antichrist, or that he was King of Babylon, mentioned in Isaiah. Truth level? Fun to talk about, but completely unverifiable and very speculative. Saddam wasn't reading Revelation. He was reading Iraqi history books and admiring Nebuchadnezzar. Theory 2. He was trying to awaken ancient demonic spirits or gods. This one goes deep into the paranormal corners of the internet. People claim Babylon was built on ancient energy points, that Saddam wanted to reopen portals, or that he was performing rituals to reconnect with the gods of Mesopotamia. Truth level? Not supported by any evidence. Saddam was a secular dictator. His rituals were more like, put my name on the bricks louder. Theory 3. The U.S. invaded Iraq because of Babylon. This one gets political. Some theorists say that Iraq war wasn't just about oil or weapons. It was because America didn't want Saddam rebuilding Babylon and fulfilling prophecy. Now, while Babylon was damaged further during the U.S. military occupation, heavy vehicles, equipment, and bases set up near the ruins, there is zero official evidence that Babylon had anything to do with the invasion. Truth level? Big nope. Theory 4. Saddam discovered something under Babylon. Ooh, this one usually involves ancient tablets, forbidden knowledge, extraterrestrial artifacts, technology from before the flood, or something that the Illuminati wanted. Folks, if Saddam found alien tech under Babylon, trust me, we would have heard about it. Probably because he would have put his picture on that too. Truth level? Creative, but nope. Okay, so what was actually going on? Well, first there was nationalism and identity. Saddam wanted to unite Iraq under a non-religious identity. Arab identity? Too political. Islamic identity? Too divided. Ancient Mesopotamian identity? Everyone could claim it. Babylon became a symbol of Iraqi greatness. Secondly, it was his personal ego stoking up. He wanted to be seen as the new Nebuchadnezzar, the restorer of Iraq, the man who revived the ancient glory days. The "my name on the bricks" thing wasn't a one-time choice. It was the whole point. And then there was the tourism and propaganda. Saddam wanted Babylon to be a mega tourist attraction, a shining example of Iraqi advancement, a place to show foreign leaders when they visited. And then there was the distraction during the war. During the Iran-Iraq War and other conflicts, rebuilding Babylon served as morale booster, a distraction, political flex. Look how strong and eternal we are. When Saddam fell in 2003, if that's what you want to call it, his rebuilding project fell with him. The palace sat empty. The reconstructed walls began cracking. Looters took bricks and artifacts, and the military presence made things worse. By 2019, UNESCO finally stepped in and declared the ruins a World Heritage Site, but with the note that the site had extensive and irreversible damage from Saddam's reconstruction and later occupation. Today, Babylon is open to visitors, and the site is being stabilized, but it's a patchwork. Ancient walls, modern Saddam-era walls, protective shelters, archaeological trenches, and an empty palace looming over it all like an awkward reminder. I would imagine that it's a strange and surreal place. Part real history, part dictator's dream project. Saddam didn't revive Babylon. He didn't fulfill prophecy. He didn't open portals. He didn't resurrect ancient gods. And he didn't uncover alien artifacts. But he did give us one of the wildest examples of how power and ego collide with archaeology. And honestly, Babylon didn't need to be rebuilt. Babylon already speaks loudly enough through scripture, through history, and through its ruins. Sometimes those old ruins can tell a more powerful story than a reconstruction ever could. And that's the irony. Saddam built over Babylon, trying to make himself look legendary. And in doing so, he damaged the very thing that made Babylon legendary. Dust to dust, empires fall, kingdoms crumble, and the bricks that were supposed to make Saddam immortal, they're already cracking. Alright, my friends, that was our little casual lecture for today. I hope you enjoyed this little historical ride with me. Shalom, and Abba willing, I'll see you in the next one.